Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you all on the West Coast. And let's take a look and see if the audio is working. As soon as YouTube catches up to what we're doing here, we will see. It says it's live, so let's unmute. Good morning to those of you. And it works. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's go to presentation view. And I got a DM from Anders that we are going to take a look at real quick. Just the picture. If I can focus on where we're at. I'm going to go to presentation view. And we'll ignore the story for now. Set this thing back to live. Good morning to those. And mute it. And let me figure out how to go to just the picture. You all know I'm pretty privacy focused. So let's go to okay, that almost did what I wanted. Let's now. Okay. And let's send this to the tab that you guys are in. No, not YouTube. Mercedes. There we go. So this is Anders' car at the supercharger. Welcome to the social. Supercharging. We go back here. I can take a charge at the Tesla superchargers without taking up multiple charging spaces. I will take up an extra charging space, however. Yes. Hopefully, Hyundai Kia moves the charge port to the correct side for supercharging. But this is clever. It works. You take up an extra space, yeah, but you're not taking up two chargers, so that's pretty nice. I'm looking at the camera up here, but we're on the camera down here. All right, let's minimize this, just in case we end up in another Twitter tab, which I think we will. And we're going to close this Twitter tab and get started. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife. She's I don't know what she's doing right now. She's making the kid food. We're looking at 350 Mercedes-Benz e-Citaro electric buses are headed to Hamburg, Germany, and that is quite cool. I'm assuming that they're going to be some articulated. I doubt they're going to be 350 articulated buses. They might have that much capacity, though. So they just placed an order for 350, and that's not all. There was a lot going on this week, and then I'm just going to do it in the order I put it in the notebook. Let's see. Oh, and let me bring you guys back up on the top of the screen so I can actually see when you're talking to me. And we'll move this over here. And I will stop and... Oh, wait. I said I'll stop and grab my meds. I don't even have them dished out yet. I'll deal with that when the time comes. What's up, Timothy? Greetings, and I will tell her you said happy birthday. And let's see. So let me get on to multi-stream. There we go. Good thing I did multi-stream. And greetings, happy birthday to her. Good evening, and right on. All right, so multi-stream is not doing what I expected to do. Why? All right, I'm gonna do it. Test multi-chat. All right, there we go. Okay, so it combines it. If somebody sends the same message on two, oh, no, it doesn't. It just made it out to Twitch and other places before it went out to YouTube. Okay, and yes, so they They ordered 350 of these buses. That's incredible. And like I said, we got a lot going on today, so we're going to kind of zoom around a little bit. And I was kind of hoping they had some specs on this thing. Sorry to be scrolling like this on you guys. Okay, so they ship with 98 kilowatt hour battery packs configured in either 294, 392, 490, or 490 or 588 kilowatt hour battery packs. Okay, so the minimum you'll get is 300 kilowatt hours basically. It's not bad. And then the maximum that they offer is 588. And they plan to convert their entire fleet to emission-free systems by 2030. And the company goes through great efforts to ensure that 100% of its energy is sustainable and truly green sources. That's good. And so 350, I don't know. For a smaller city, that might be everything, but I don't believe that's a small city. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. We've got our notebook right here. Let me move the notebook over to the left so I can see you chaps. And next up we've got a little bit of electric heavy equipment from BYD over here. So XCMG shows off electric heavy equipment with BYD battery swap tech ahead of CES. And like I've said, battery swap for passenger cars doesn't make any sense. However, in a situation like this, it makes perfect sense. If you don't have room or time to deal with charging, you can put the batteries outside of the operation, or kind of on the route or something. And if you're an automated swap, it's pretty easy. I don't know you'd want an automated swap in something this dusty and dirty. We've seen where we looked at in the past where they have the manual swaps. Obviously, nobody's picking up a 2-ton battery pack and moving it by hand. What they were doing on the one we looked at most recently was you could use bobcats, skid steer, forklift, and drop the pack, put it onto the empty slot of the charger, pick up the other battery pack off the full slot of the charger, and then shove it in your equipment. And that was pretty cool. Automated is cooler, but it's gonna be more expensive, and then you gotta deal with all the dust and grime and stuff. Whereas with the Bobcat, just, and then do the next one. Is there anything they wanted to say about it? 400 kilowatt hour battery packs in just 3 minutes, top off as quickly as diesel. I would say quicker than diesel, because 3 minutes on the heavy equipment, you'd have to have some pretty high flow and not spill any. Yeah, look at that. But wait, there's more. That's all super futuristic. I wonder if it's autonomous, because it does not look like you can see anything out of that. And that cab doesn't look comfortable. Need a reminder that China is light years ahead when it comes to electrification tech. I know light years is a measure of distance, not time. Grow up. You should know that XCMG's swappable battery tech, which features 400 kilowatt hour battery packs using BYD. Okay, so it's a different company, but they're using BYD cells packs. Using BYD Blade Tech cells packed at a facility known as that's a joint venture between XCMG and BYD. It's such a non-event in a country that's seen millions of swaps that it didn't even merit a press release. Yeah, that's just a thing we do here. We swap batteries. Why wouldn't you? One that I think we looked at in the past, yeah, because it was loud. We looked at a auto swap at the ports, and that one was pretty interesting. All right, I don't even have a drink, so I can't even just take the meds before the food. Let's see. Several years ago, that battery swap for mining construction equipment was an excellent solution. I'm glad that they've taken my advice. All right, Blake. Moving on. We've got We got a little something from Tesla. This one we've talked about regularly, but now I've got one tagged official photo. And this is coming from Tesla charging account. And here is the new Tesla supercharger in Cordoba, Spain, with 8 stalls. It's a V3 Plus with get your V4 dispensers are posts on your gas station awning, and we still don't know what they're doing with the rest of the campus. There were several buildings there, and I'd love for somebody to get their boots on the ground and go visit it. Sweet official photos. And this is what it used to look like. And this is what it looks like at night. Thank you, Jan. Jan of the EV Universe. He's got a newsletter. You can subscribe to it if you like. Wow, is this an old gas station? Out with the old, in with the new. Alright, let's take a look. At night, that looks super cool. Let's see. Just told a stream to sign up for the and then you'll have to like add him, because both of my emails that I use for the newsletter like to turn it off. I'm sure it's a configuration error on either his part or my part. Alright, now we've got another tweet. This one's coming from Max Zuger, the current head of the superchargers situation here. Let's take a look. Looking at Megapack chargers have 3 megawatt hours of capacity capable of charging at 75 cars at 8 250 kilowatt posts. 250 being the V3 system. They are Starlink connected. They're a powerful tool for temporary congestion bottlenecks and disruptions like hurricanes. They're recharged within hours by taking a nearby supercharger cabinet offline at night when usage is low. They're costly and high bandwidth to deploy, but they make all the difference for getting customers home for the holidays. And not too long after this post, we were no longer just using them for the holidays. They are deployed actively in California to assist in the fire evacuation and offline station efforts. But it's kind of cool to learn how they actually work these things. So we saw the older units where they could just hardwire them in on the site if it was equipped for that. And we learned that they can do 75 charges. I'm guessing full charges, because they seem to run longer than you would expect for 75 cars. And they take a station offline, so I'm guessing that they use the DC link and they just kind of share that power, and then instead of charging cars, they all sit together and they charge the Mega Pack, which works. I'm curious if there's not another way that they can do it without taking one offline, but at the same time, you don't have to put in any more equipment or converters, carry any of that on the trailer. Although you've already got 2 cabinets on the trailer, so you could just literally switch over and have it charge itself. That works too. And expensive, you got to buy a mega pack at $1.3, $1.4 million at a minimum, up to $2.4, $2.8 million, depending on when they decide to take it off the books. Retail, obviously, they're not paying retail for their own stuff, but accounting gets funny when you're using your own product in your operations. Then they've got to hire a driver or two to get it in and out of where it needs to go. They have to hire people to do the connect, disconnect, or more difficult. It's more efficient to have one person do it, 1 or 2 people. But to get somebody who's capable of dealing with that high voltage and driving truck is a little more rare. and then you got to monitor it, deal with it. So that's why we saw solar panels on the new ones. The solar panels help the Starlink dish stay on, help the site controller stay on, and deal with saying, hey, I'm online, I've got this much capacity, you can send me 3 cars, I'm offline, that sort of thing. So that is the supercharger mega pack. And let's go into these photos here real quick. Oh, it's one photo of 4. And we saw these already on the Tesla Live show, and I think we've seen them here a couple times, but this is the latest edition. And these are the 4 different places that they chose to feature. And you'll notice this one has a bag on it, and that's just a matter of whatever works best with the site is how they're handling this. So they'll move the bag to another one if the layout requires it. Like this one over here has got it open. I'm pointing as if you can see. We can see the pointer on our other software. All right, let's take a look. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't see if we are clear on X. So bear with me one moment. I seem to have frozen that tab. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I see why. It's got a video. Let's click here. I was just sitting on the SpaceX tab because I was checking on the rockets. The New Glenn rocket has slipped to tomorrow, and Starship has slipped to the 15th. New Glenn has been fighting unfavorable seas at the landing site. I don't know why Starship has been delayed. And my browser doesn't want to click. There we go. And now let's click on us. I see that we're there. And we don't seem to be hitching, so that is nice. Let's continue. Okay, so there's our photo for the Mega Pack supercharger. We'll go look at that original thread in a minute, but there was some stuff on this one. And I told Mark that I don't know how we missed this particular post because it was from December. Do they show up in the car navigator? The answer is yes. We tie those stalls into the existing site, and it's co-located. The existing site that it's co-located at, showing updated total stall availability in your touchscreen. So I don't know how they do it when they deploy to a place that isn't a supercharger site, but... Oh, I see. Now, I thought that these were new locations temporarily. They've done that in the past, so... Interesting. Felix has live footage. There we go. Brandon is another one of us charging nerds. He's currently test driving a Silverado EV. Are the Megapacks linked into the supercharger cabinets via the DC link? Didn't get an answer. Do the sites have cam locks added proactively, or is that part of the deployment effort? Oh, thank you. Everybody says happy birthday.
Thank you.
She says thank you. Thank you. Okay, I got veggie bacon, French toast, and chocolate cake. And then when she brings back a drink, I will pause to take some medication. Let's see. Do the sites have cam locks added proactively, or is that part of the deployment effort of a site not deployed before? I'm not sure where he's getting at there. Let's give him some hearts. This is next level. By no means does Tesla have to do this, but you guys do it, and you make a huge positive difference in people's lives. I would say it would be... It's great that they do it, but it might be a little irresponsible if they didn't do it now that they are servicing so many different brands as the charging provider. Thank you. What's the solar panel for? And it keeps the site controller, health data, location online at all times, even when the unit gets shut down or is depleted. That's cool. Does it go through an auxiliary battery? The answer to that would be probably, or there's like a small black start version, a section of the Mega Pack. He's not pushing his code. Modular and prefabricated chargers rock. Max, how would the wireless chargers work with the cybercabs? I imagine they would just sit on the ground, depending on. Well, the suspension on it is not. As far as we know, it's not an air ride, so that will change things. But I imagine they have a certain amount of tolerance, so that you can do the in-ground or pucks sitting above the ground. All right, let's go back. Like I said, let's go look at the actual post and see if it gives us any more details. There he is pushing his code. Brandon says, would love to know the details about these rigs. And he got some. How long does it last? How's the Megapack factory going in Shanghai, which we talked about last week before, on the Tesla Life show. It's ready. It's getting ready to start trial production. So let's look at this. I think it's going to be 75 cars, but do they say? Megapack capacity is 3.9 megawatt hours, so probably 100 to 200 to 120 charging sessions. And if they take it away at night to refill it, that would be per day number. Yeah. So the 75, I'm guessing that's just because so many people sit in their cars while they supercharge. And is that Lisa and Happy Sunday? The multi-chat is just not showing me anything today. I guess I gotta start it there first. Yeah, Lisa's Happy Sunday. Or maybe it's because I haven't received anything since we opened it. Let me test from X. Alright, yeah, it's working on X. And let's see. Test from YouTube. Let me spell their name right. Capital T and Y. Error. Try again. I can't chat on my own chat. Or is it because I already chatted from another location and they're freaking out? Which shouldn't be the case because they know I'm streaming from software. Oh, cool! I can do polls and Q&A sessions here. Something we can use later. All right, and where would they refill it? We learned is at a supercharger site. Somewhere with a lot of power, that's for sure. And let's go up to where they answered Brandon. Come. And Felix linked back the link from Max. I plan on charging at the Cambridge site tomorrow. If I can get pictures or anything useful, I'll post them. I wonder if he was the idea of the stream. Alright, so next we will do... Scroll down. So we'll just talk about some numbers real quick. The average number of vehicles delivered per day in 2024 for Tesla was 4,888 per day. Wow, that's incredible. 5,000 vehicles a day, basically. So that is the entirety of the S and X line for a week, every day. That's incredible. Per day, Rivian delivered 141 vehicles. Respectable. And I think that's just one country, right? Or maybe North America only, U.S. and Canada. I don't know that they've left the U.S. yet. And then Lucid delivered 28 vehicles per day, and I think that's worldwide because they're Saudi connection. And Drive Tesla Canada has this post here. Similar situation, we're recapping the year. Come on, paste and go. Tesla opened 3,600 supercharger stalls in Q4 alone. So just September to December. We're looking at, or October to December. We're looking at, to put that in perspective, that is the equivalent of a 40-stall supercharger opening every day for 3 months straight. Incredible work by the Tesla charging team. I know I hit hard on these. I don't know why they don't stick around. And let's see. Remember when everyone thought supercharger build-out was doomed? It didn't look good. It didn't look good. Seems like a distant memory now. It does. Some corridors were a mess yesterday. I know it was cold, but they're still not building these fast enough or strategically. Perhaps CCS adapters from Tesla charging would help relieve the pressure. Also, a queue system in car. And as we saw, they talked about they're not going to do a queue system anytime soon. They would rather just build more stalls. London was a mess yesterday, partially due to the 401 closure as well. Yeah, if you start losing your normal links of connections on the road, then the reroute stations will see abnormal traffic patterns. And I'm assuming, based on the dates, that had everything to do with our incredible weather we've been having all over the country. Snow and ice where it doesn't belong, heat and fire and rain elsewhere. Let's see. In Q4, we opened 3.6 thousand supercharger stalls, plus 19% year-over-year network growth. We delivered 1.4 terawatt hours, which is a 24% year-over-year growth, and saved 620 million liters of gasoline, offsetting 1.4 billion kilograms of CO2. I do believe we have discussed this stat on here before. Last week, I think. All right, let's continue on. I have a post next to another post. What did I say? Is it still there? I had to delete a bunch of posts yesterday. Yeah, it's still there. I was talking to somebody who was persona non grata on on X, and it tanked my account. It's like, ooh, you talked to the leper. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk to the pariah. Let's see. So Volkswagen EVs are to get Tesla supercharger access in March of 2025. There's a catch. This is the weirdest one yet, but it makes sense to let them rip as soon as the software is ready, in case somebody already has the adapter or they want to get a third-party one on their own. So what's happening with this is Volkswagen has got the green light. They're going to have their software ready in March, and they're allowed to participate in the supercharger social, but they won't get their adapters until June, and that's what's up with Volkswagen. And so some of the folks they've photoshopped in a picture of the ID Buzz, the new Volkswagen bus, and others have put other stuff there. But welcome aboard. And then we've got an article from Electrek about a brand that we've heard of a couple times. It's a JV, or a joint venture, between our friends at Honda and Sony. It's called the Afeela, and it's got a PlayStation 5 on board. Where have we heard that before? Oh, over at Tesla. But I think, unlike Tesla, they will keep this thing in, and we'll see how it does. They've got an interesting delivery area rollout situation going on. It is only available in the state of California. You have to sign a contract that you are primarily going to use it in California. You'll only be able to get service in California. Not California emission states, like all the rest of these limited edition green cars, because the reason they're doing that is to meet up with the CARB emission standards. And, well, since Sony doesn't make any gas cars, they don't have to deal with that. But because they don't have to deal with that, they can do whatever they want for the deliveries. It says that my screen is the same height, but it is not. Because I am looking at the whole car, and you guys are not. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Now I see what you see. Close enough. So yes, it's going to cost $90,000. I don't know what the Plus subscription is about. I didn't catch that on my run through. You can reserve now for $200. And that's what it looks like. It doesn't look half bad. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it doesn't look half bad. And I'm guessing that's the charge port door, and that you would think it's not going to be good for supercharging, but it's going to be great for supercharging. If you don't recall, this is the first member of the NACS and Supercharger Coalition is not in North America. In Japan, they're going to have the NACS port on this vehicle as well, because the only other option is CHAdeMO. So I guess what they'll do is they'll be able to use the Tesla CHAdeMO adapter, perhaps, and then of course you'll be able to use any superchargers there as well. Which I say any supercharger. That's probably not entirely true, because remember, here in the States it's select, in North America rather, it's select superchargers. And I don't know, they've had supercharging in Japan for a while now, so they I don't know if they're going to update those sites or if they've already done it. This will be interesting to see. But the reason that they're using NACS instead of CCS2 is because they have an American/British style network there. So they've got a British frequency on half of the country, and an American frequency on the other half. But all the plugs are American style plugs. But typically without a grounding pin. They have another way that they handle that, which is interesting to see. Bear with me, I'm gonna get some of this veggie bacon before it gets cold. And the pills. I ran a number on my pill caddy the other day, so it's empty. One more. There we go. Alright, let's find out what they're talking about with the subscription here. I grab another piece of veggie bacon. So they've been teasing this since 2020. It feels like longer, but I guess not. Oh, you know what though? It does make sense. So 2020, I think, would be since the JV was announced, because they showed off a concept of this even before then. At the time, it was called the Vision S, and we thought there was no way it would happen. But later, oh no, I guess this was in 2020. Time is it's been a mess since 2019. Let's see. At the time, it's called the Vision S project, and we thought there was no way it would happen. But later, Sony partnered with Honda, and then got the name Afeela in 2023, and a 2026 release date. Today, Sony gave us another annual update. It feels that way. Of its Afeela vehicle. Afeela vehicle focused its keynote less on it than it did in the past. The roughly 6-minute segment of the CES keynote dedicated to the car didn't tell us a whole lot of new information compared to the past years, but it did give us perhaps the most important information yet: pricing and availability. I can't complain that they're not doing too much with that, because at the moment, they're not delivering them. And then what we found is that if you have the car out there for too long, then it starts to get stale even before you're building it. And Andrew says we want NACS in Sweden and Europe too. I think it would be great there for anyone that doesn't need the 3-phase. Or if they do like they did with the Type 2 initially, where they had you could charge DC and AC on the same plug, and it was just slightly modified. The Tesla one had a key in the center, so there's a center pin on the regular Type 2, and the Tesla one, instead of being a round shape, it had like a point on the end of the roundness. And if they do something like that, then they could adapt the NACS to still work. Or if they want to put the third pin somewhere else, like make it deeper, or just there's a big cavity in the middle of the NACS, and unless that was reserved for liquid cooling or something, then they could use that, and then in the markets that don't need it, it wouldn't be on your handles, it wouldn't be in the car. But in the markets that do need it, you would then be able to plug in and use it. Or there's this little like chin on the 1,000-volt NACS. They could do something with that, like maybe make some pins that pinch onto the chin and make the chin metal in those areas. Time will tell. Okay. Big news today is that the car is called the Afeela 1. Kind of like the Polestar 1, huh? But the Polestar 1 was a hybrid. This will be all electric. Reservations open at $200 a pop, with a base price of $89,900 for the Origin trim, and $102,900 for the Signature trim. Sony didn't tell us much about the difference between these two trim levels. I want the better one. Give me. Here's another $200. I'm not going to California anytime soon to get this car. Although, it might be fun to take it for a test drive. There's a short rundown available on the Afeela website, and the additional $13,000 for the signature trim gets you more color choices, rear screens, which you can see in our hands-on display of the vehicle prototype. Alright, we'll click on that. A camera rear view mirror. Oh, so like the Bolt and like the prototype Cybertruck, but not the actual Cybertruck. But perhaps more importantly, is it also gets you the car a year earlier, so mid 2026 for the Signature. So that's the proven program. Not necessarily proven with Sony, but proven to do Founder Series, essentially. Foundation. Signature. It's only available in the Origin series. Is only available in 2027. Strangely, the original cars will not have the Origin trim. It's an odd choice of name for the car that comes second. I get it. I see what you're saying. But these are trims. Origin being the model, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, that's a tiny table. The Afeela 1 Signature, the Afeela 1 Origin from 102.9 from 89.9. The dates, you get 2 colors instead of 1. So like so there's 3 colors: black, gray, and white. You can get a white or black or gray interior, whereas the Origin only comes in white on white. And you get 2 screens and a camera monitor system with link. Oh, HomeLink. With HomeLink, okay. It is tiny on my screen. You guys have no idea. It's probably bad on your screen, too. Uh, Auto DN mirror. Oh, auto down mirror. So when you're going reverse, the mirror will tilt down. And bezel-less. I don't know that a bezel-less mirror is that. Or do I have bezel-less mirrors already? I think I do. Center camera mirror system with HomeLink. So that might just be on the Japanese one, because in the States at the moment you still need to have physical mirrors, unless they're saying they'll also have cameras. Who else did that recently? Was it Mercedes? Honda? I don't recall. Somebody has camera mirrors. Audi? Camera mirrors that you've got the glass on top of and you can take them off in the right jurisdictions and just have the cameras. 21-inch alloy wheels or 19-inch alloy wheels. Come on, Sony, you could have done better. Just give everybody the same wheels. Shake up the mold. Even Tesla didn't do that. Okay. Previous keynotes, they touted their expertise in software, entertainment, and said that it'll help them make a vehicle that better integrates the vehicle software to provide entertainment for passengers and guidance for drivers through its Afila personal agent and the electronic driver's aids of 45 sensors for potential autonomous driving tasks. There's a lot of sensors compared to the Mercedes uses a lot less of them for their level 3 vehicle. I don't know what Honda does on their level 3 Integra, I believe they've got it on. And both Mercedes and Honda level 3 is level 3 by the barest of definitions. It has to be a clear day, not raining, has to have somebody to follow, has to be heavy traffic, has to be under 40 or 30 miles an hour, something like that. And you have to be ready to take over, but the definition of level 3 is that there's a transition period, so I think like 30 seconds to a minute they give you to come back to the wheel. You can't be asleep because that's not long enough to wake up and get control of the car. And folks were arguing that autopilot can't do this. I think autopilot could do exactly that on the cars with an interior camera, if Tesla can guarantee the handover period, and if they want to accept the liability while the car is driving itself. Both Honda and Mercedes are on the hook while your car is in the level 3 mode, and the 30 seconds before and after, I suppose, or I guess just after, where if it doesn't give you time to take over and then crashes, then they got to pay the other person's insurance. So, because Honda's got that, then I would presume that Afila has access to that technology, unless Honda's trying to keep it exclusively on the Integra. I believe it's the Integra. Oh no, it's not the Integra. It's the Legend. It would be the Acura RL equivalent, and whatever became of the RL, RLX, some other thing now. Who knows? $100,000 for a car that markets itself on tech, and the autonomy is still subscription based. I can't imagine what the $100K is paying for, especially if they are making you subscribe for autonomy. And is it going to do my laundry too? $100,000. It's high. But as we talked about with the pickup trucks, it's not that far out from the average new car pricing anymore. The pickup trucks, the gas ones, add any option to them, and you're looking at $60,000 to $80,000, and it's gone up. It's gone way up. Let's see the strictest emission rules. One more catch. Reservations are only open in California. A lot of companies have done before, but the California emissions, so I talked about that already. This led to the phrase compliance car because they were complying with California emissions exclusively. And they're not even doing that. Sony doesn't have to meet emissions. Honda does, but it's a JV, so I don't know if Honda can take those credits. Honda only recently started selling EVs in the US with the Prologue, which is a Chevy that is outselling the Chevy. It's a bit weird that either of these companies would focus solely on California, as it doesn't seem like either of them would have to worry about compliance. We reached out to figure out whether the timeline would be for the other states, and we'll update you if we find out anything new. Reservations can be made on Afila's website, so let's go there now. Wait, subscription. What I'm looking for is how much the subscription is. The agent, complimentary 3-year subscription. No information on how much. Okay, that's why we didn't see it. Because it didn't say. Alright, so now let's go to the Afila website. That is such a weird name. The Afila 1. I don't think it likes being on this tiny screen. Reserve today. No. Go away. $89.9. 40 sensors. Asterisk number 2. Starting from $89,900. Asterisk number 1. Estimated range is up to 300 miles. Where mobility meets intelligence. How to order. Ownership support. Discover the Afila 1. And events. Sony Honda Mobility announces the Afila Studios. I guess I should have clicked on the reserve button, huh? Fine. Reserve now. Alright, so 800 tops is the processing, 800 trillion operations per second, and that puts it, so for the Microsoft Copilot Plus, I think you need 40 tops, and I think my MacBook is like 27 tops, it's old, and the new one is at like 35, and the new NVIDIA that just came out is significantly more powerful than that, but they had to have had all the parts ready a couple of years ago to be ready to have this thing out next year. And I think it is running a smaller NVIDIA. But we'll find out what they actually put in it when we get our hands on one. The level 2 plus ADAS. Not plus ADAS, but it's a level 2 plus. So like Autopilot is technically level 2, but so much more. Same thing. They feel a personal assistant. The media bar. External information display. I believe that they said it was at the base of the windshield. Immersive 3D map. Immersive entertainment selection. Customizable theme. Spatial sound system with 5G connectivity. Oh, there it is in black. I'm guessing those are the 18-inch wheels? Or 19-inch wheels? Because those look different than everything we've seen on it so far. I kind of like it. It reminds me of RoboCop. Even with this little LiDAR horn on top. And I don't think it's going to stay level 2 plus, because you wouldn't need a LiDAR horn if you were going to stay at level 2. So you can get a signature starting from mid-26 or an origin at $89.9. Which is interesting that because the origin isn't available in black, but it is available with the... I wonder if they got it wrong, because it said white on our document, right? So black on black, rather than white on white. We've got, I guess these are cameras or radars. Are there other LiDARs? But that center one is definitely LiDAR. Interesting. Oh, there it is. With the gray interior. Only black is offered for this trim. Got a yoke, and that's what they mean by media bar. It's been a while since I've seen the inside of this thing. They got the iDrive. I'm sure BMW would not like to hear it called that, but that's what it is. Look at it. Okay, so you get the camera mirrors they were talking about there. There's nothing saying you can't do camera mirrors if you have glass mirrors, but in North America you aren't allowed to replace the, or at least the U.S. anyway, you're not allowed to replace the glass with cameras. There's a rear view without the screen, so we're going to come back and scroll this again to see it, and important notes. Only available in California. By reserving, you represent you are a California resident. You will take delivery of a Fila in California. Your Fila will be garaged in California, and your Fila will be titled and registered in California. And a Fila account is required to make a reservation, and only one reservation is allowed per a Fila account. So the question I have is, this part should not be necessary. You shouldn't have to be a California resident as long as you agree to the rest of this stuff. Because what if you have a residence elsewhere, but you do significant time in California as a business person? Unless they're trying to say they only want people who are only going to drive this thing exclusively. Alright, let's click on the signature trim. As a globetrotter, I'm sensitive to stuff like that. I say globetrotter. Continent trotter. We are looking at... So there's the bigger wheels that we're used to. And the color that we're used to, I think. No, we're used to the white color. And there it is from the top. The white interior. Looks great to me. And there's the screen. I'm guessing that's a heads-up display. It's got to be a heads-up display. And that's a speaker. I guess the defrost is in front of all of this. And we can change the color, the white that we're used to seeing. And then we just saw the black. Let's see the black with the wheels, though. Yeah, still looks good. And then the interior. Okay, those screens are much more substantial than I was expecting. I was thinking something like the Tesla Center dealio. But these are substantial screens. Not just the one in the front. Wow. The dash looks like it feels softer on this one. So that's just the color. No, it's not just the color. That or I didn't notice it before. Okay. That's a Fila. A lot more to go today. Let's keep going. Come on, notepad. Scroll. Okay, so 300 miles of range, 40 sensors, built-in support for Tesla Supercharger network with the NAC port. 2 trims. Only paint option appears to be core black for the base model. 194 inches long, 800 tops. Yoke steering. Price of signature trim will start in 2026, 2027 for the less expensive version. There we go. And then we talked about this one on the Tesla Life show. About how Tesla is going to help the Europeans with their emissions. And I had a tweet attached, which I had to delete, asking, what did I ask? I was asking, because it calls out vans, I was asking if the Model X is considered a van or if that's just somebody else going to help out the Europeans there. Bear with me. That's good French toast. All right, let's get a little more text on this screen. There we go. Based on EU filing, automakers plan to pool carbon emissions with Tesla to comply with the European Union's 2025 rules on CO2 emissions. The automakers are going to be the ones that are going to pool with Tesla anyway are Stellantis, Toyota, Ford, Mercedes, and Subaru. Meanwhile, Volvo and Polestar and Smart are going to pool with Mercedes. Volvo is going all electric. They're not there yet, but they're going all electric. Polestar is all electric since the Polestar 1 is not in production anymore. And Smart also went all electric to the chagrin of their U.S. dealer network. So they're going to give their emission credits with Mercedes. And I say give, they're going to sell them with Mercedes. According to the EU's website, new CO2 emission rules from 2025 to 2034 are, for cars, 93.6 grams of CO2 per kilometer and 49.5 grams of CO2 in 2030 to 2034. And the vans are 153.9 grams of CO2 per kilometer, going down to 90.6. And that's why my question was, is a Model X a van? Because Volvo makes something that could count as a van, SUV. Polestar does not. Smart certainly does not. Unless they're just going to have to deal with vans on their own. Nice revenue stream for Tesla then. Alright, we'll stay out of their comments. They went somewhere else already. Alright, let's go over to as my Canadian friends call it, Mazda. We're going to go look at Mazda's first serious entry into the EV realm. Finally. They've had one, but it was a joke. Everybody knew it was a joke. They knew it was a joke. Nobody bought them. I say nobody, but we're talking like 30 people. Ever. I don't even think it was 30 a month. So we're over electric truck. This would be made in Japan, which is fine. With these Japanese companies, if you can get a car made in Japan, that's usually a good deal. Let's see. By good deal, I mean you get an attention to quality and detail that you don't always get at their U.S. factories. Not to say the U.S. factories are necessarily bad, but like, if you can get a Japanese Civic over a U.S. built Civic, the Japanese one is just usually better parts, better quality assurance, everything. Oh, we got some news on the software. I don't even know if I put that in there, but I'm not going to scroll the notes right now because they're going to get mad at me for scrolling. Alright, so Mazda's not the first brand you think of for EVs. Of course not, because they were a joke. They revealed that they plan to build a new module pack plant in Japan for cylindrical lithium-ion cells. I think they're using 2170s. The new plant will use Panasonic Energy's battery cells to produce modules and EV battery packs. And Mazda plans to have 10 gigawatt hours of annual capacity at their facility. So they're not playing around. The battery packs will power Mazda's first dedicated EV. So I'm guessing they mean that it's not a shared platform, because that joke with the 100 miles in 2022 was built on a gas and hybrid platform. The battery packs power Mazda's first dedicated EV, which will be built in Japan using a new electric vehicle platform. Mazda said it's steadily preparing for the electrification technologies under its 2030 management plan. Ooh, you gotta do something before 5 years from now if you wanna stay around. First phase calls for using its existing technology. In its second stage, Mazda will introduce a new hybrid system and EV dedicated vehicles in China. I don't know what Motoko is going on about out there. She can talk, so I don't know why she's not using words, but she seems excited. She wants to sing happy birthday song, she says. Okay, so this hybrid thing, Mazda, Toyota's tried it. You should not waste your time on it. It's past time for hybrids now. It's time to do your business or get off the pot. The third and final phase calls for the full-fledged launch of EVs and battery production. By 2030, Mazda expects EVs to account for 25 to 40% of global sales. Oh wow, so they're only 5 years late, because Patrick showed us who was targeting 25 to 40% of EV sales this year. So you want to skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where the puck is. Mazda launched the EZ6, the Echo Z. Mission Zero. The EZ6 is an electric sedan in China last October, and it starts at 139,800 won, or around $19,200. It's made by their Chinese joint venture, Chang'an Mazda. That's not a bad price. I don't know if it's a good car or not, but it's not a bad price. Based on the Chang'an's hybrid platform, the electric sedan is offered in EV extended range, EV and EV extended range options. So I'm not so mad about the extended range EVs. You can get them cheaper, and if they have, say, a 100-mile range, they'll cover. They'll almost never be running on gas at that point. If it's only 40 miles, it's probably always going to be running on gas. Assuming that the gas is not $8 a gallon. All right, Giles Van Gerp. Let's see what you say. It's probably something like I said. The question is what their overall sales will be at that price at that point. ICE vehicle market is going to shrink year on year relative to the EV market every year for the next 5 years and beyond. Look at Norway and Sweden or Ethiopia. Ethiopia has banned gas cars legally, whereas Norway, they just have a goal that by the end of this year they won't sell any gas cars. And they've kind of succeeded, even if it is just a goal. They gave you some carrots and some sticks. Let's see. Year on year, they seem to hope that 60 to 75% of sales of a shrinking market will still add up to meaningful market share. Not when you're the fourth place or smaller Mazda. Don't forget, there's still Subaru. It's not just Toyota and Honda. It's everybody else behind Toyota and Honda for the Japanese. Do you stand a chance? 60 to 75% sales of a shrinking market will add up to meaningful market share. I think that pretty much excludes China, Europe, and most of Asia. Yeah, China's gone already. You can't. If you're thinking about launching gas cars in China, you're too late. Or Norway. Or Ethiopia. And soon the rest of the world. Even the U.S. should be doing better than that by then. Even with certain political issues for most of that time. These are numbers that they should have been hitting in most of their key markets last year. Too little, too late, he says. Da, 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 da. Is the... It says Zoom P4 Direct is on, but it's not getting to you guys? Monitor is off. Yeah, I hear myself. So what happened to the sound to you guys? Oh, it's back now. Okay. I wonder if it's because I didn't hit... Yeah, it is back. Is the... I wonder if it's because I didn't let Marcus in the room in time. I'm sorry, Marcus. Come back. Okay, it's on. It's using my microphone. The video source, we're going to use the projector screen. Is that an option? It's not an option, but what I can do is the window capture. So you can see what I see live. All right. Excuse me. Where's Marcus's message box? All right, and here we go. So the Mazda. All right, audio good? Perfect. And the screen is back. That looks really nice inside. The EZ6 is off to a good start with 2445 models sold in November. Oh, that's substantial in just 1 month. You get a 10.1-inch driver display, 50-inch augmented reality heads-up display. So it's more than just a heads-up display. And I don't imagine they have you putting on goggles. Neato. Alright, so next we've got... Alright, Joel says the audio's good too. Perfect. Thank you, thank you. And I don't know why it did that. Probably because I didn't set everything up right the first time and what to do with routing. Let's copy a link. And so you guys may have heard some lies about wind power. Here's some facts about wind power. The DOE report finds that this is better than we anticipated. We had assumed that the blades were useless after they came off. But the new Department of Energy report finds that 90% of wind turbine materials are recyclable. 90%. That's phenomenal. And William Jansen asks, what's the cost? Cost for what? All right, so 90% of the wind turbine materials are already recyclable according using existing infrastructure, but tackling the remaining 10% needs innovation. That's why the Biden administration's bipartisan infrastructure law has allocated over $20 million to develop technologies that address these challenges. And this matters because wind energy is growing rapidly. Yes, it is. And questions about what happens to the turbines at the end of their life are critical. The report, titled Recycling Wind Energy Systems in the United States, Part 1, providing a baseline for America's wind energy recycling infrastructure for wind turbines and systems. Oh my goodness, what a title. I think you need 2 pages just for the title. Entitled case, anyway. Let's do that again. Recycling Wind Energy Systems in the United States, Part 1, providing a baseline for America's wind energy recycling infrastructure for wind turbines and systems. That's one heck of a title. It identifies short, medium, and long-term research, development, and demonstration priorities along the life cycle of wind turbines. and developed by researchers at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, the NREL, with help from Oak Ridge and Sandia National Laboratories. The findings aim to guide the future investments and technological innovations. So this is good. So let's find out what's not recyclable, really. The bulk of wind turbine, towers, steel drivetrain components is relatively easy to recycle. However, components like the blades, generators, and nacelle covers are tougher to process. Yeah, the nacelle covers are like fiberglass and plastic. The blades are all fiberglass. Blades, for instance, are often made from hard-to-recycle materials like thermoset resins, but switching to recyclable thermoplastics could be a game changer. Just change what they're made of. Innovations like chemical dissolution and pyrolysis. That sounds like fire. Could make the blade recycling more viable in the future. Critical materials like nickel, cobalt, and zinc used in generators and power electronics are particularly important to recover, with key strategies for a circular economy. I just wanted to point out that they were already most of the way there. And let's continue on. Right, Spotted Model shares with us that Norway becomes the first country in the world where electric cars outnumber the petrol cars. Spotted Model is branching out his video, and he just started a YouTube channel, so he's not just on X anymore. And he's also on TikTok until they close. And, yeah, so woot woot. Norway becomes the first country where electric cars outnumber petrol cars. And I had a tweet on there, but I had to delete it. Not that he was the persona non grata, but I had to get rid of a bunch of them to make it happen. Copy link. And so some of you that follow me on X might have noticed that my volume is up. I'm trying to get monetized on X, and I am on YouTube, and I'd like to be in both places as a full creator respected by the platform. So there are volume requirements, and I'm trying to hit them. This one was interesting to me. Pininfarina and AC Future have unveiled products for the market, including a transformer home drivable vehicle. They've got a video. I think we'll play it without music. They got 3 vehicles they were showing off. This one is basically a mobile home, and this one is a travel trailer, and this one is a motorhome. I don't know if this is a full mobile home or if it's just a park model trailer. There's not a huge difference to most people, but a park model trailer is still a travel trailer basically, but it doesn't have tanks typically, and it just kind of sits there until you have somebody that you've paid to move it, because it's usually super heavy. It's not designed to be. They may still be on a wheeled chassis, but they're not designed to be moved from campsite to campsite. You're not going to go vacationing to see the sights in one of these. You're going to go to a place, enjoy the lake, enjoy fishing, or enjoy your family reservation or whatever you've got going on, and then you'll leave. And that's what those are for. Whereas the motorhome and the travel trailer are more for the adventure. We're going to go see the mountains. We're going to go see the desert or whatever. There wasn't a lot of there. There's no pricing, no further details on what they plan to do. But here's that the park model, the AI Thu, the transformer home unit, and there it is. It's pretty. There's more to this one in the video. And then you've got the AI. Is it AI or AL? I can't really tell. I hate that there's so many fonts where the I and the L are the same. Anyway, the AI, the Transformer home trailer. Okay, so now this is making more sense. THT is trailer. And the Thu is a home unit. Okay. And then the other one is a motorhome. So here we see it being pulled by the Nikola Badger, basically. I can center this better by hand. There we go. It doesn't look bad. The centering of the wheels seems unlikely. Actually, here it seems even less likely, because now it's slanted backwards, which would mean it's going to pick up your rear wheels, which is going to make you crash. So these need to come back here. And again, I speak as if you can see my mouse. You can't. Then we've got the trailer expanding a little bit. Is that fully expanded? That's fully expanded. That's the part that's coolest to me. It grows, and that's why they call it Transformer, because it transforms. And then it's got a pop-out deck or room. Even cooler to me. And it's got an exterior patio there. You see with the chairs. People complain about where it is. I don't know where else you'd put it except for opposite the other side of the slide, but then you're worrying about the size of the campsite that you have to work with if you're going to put a full-size patio slide out on the other side. The other complaint that we saw was that the patio is on the utility side of the trailer, so you're going to have your sewer hookups and all that sort of thing, and your neighbor's front door right on that side outside your patio. So they're saying that this should go on the other side of the vehicle, and they're right on that. But there was other people saying that it should be the size of the expansion and on that side. I think just get it off of the poopy side and it'll be fine. And then our trailer here, I pointed out that our door is on the wrong side as well, but that's a little different. That was an oversight on my part. The interior look is just beautiful, just modern, comfortable, and with it expanded out like that. Yes. Very comfortable looking. Oh yeah. I don't know if they'll ever build this thing. They could. And then they've got the motorhome. There was like 2 pictures of it. No interior, no expansion. It's just there. We look forward to showcasing our vehicles at the upcoming Consumer Electronics Show, which is now over. Alright, so I'm going to do their video, and I'm going to mute the sound. So bear with me. There we go. And they don't say anything, so we won't bother with captions. Look at that. This is the trailer. And then it's folding up. And then I think next would be the park model. Oh yeah, the chair would be there for, like, as an office or something. It doesn't need to be there to drive. There you go. And then there it is on the road. Those wheels have to move. Unless they plan to put a lot of ballast on the tongue. It looks aerodynamic at the rear. Alright, then there's the motorhome and the park model. Boink. It does not hover. But it does expand, just like the trailer. I see they plan to use it as a mobile office for a construction site, or while your house gets built. There's the trailer again with the gamer lights, RGB, all the things, and the park model again. I guess you could just use it out at your summer property, I guess, on the pool. or the concreted lake that's shaped like their logo. All right, and that was their video. So I don't know what's going to become of this, but it looked cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And it looks like they had no comments on this thing. No, there they are. Isn't this just an RV with a different shape? No, it has AI. And blockchain. Strange spot for the patio on the travel trailer. That's the utility side at the campgrounds, not the campsite. Agreed. A vehicle such as this opens up all sorts of social possibilities for living, which we probably haven't considered, although being well enough supplied with power may be a problem. It's a trailer, and you can put solar on top. Does anyone know if the towable version has additional hookups, or are you expected to just use the onboard power and waste? Is that because everything's on the campsite, or on the utility side? I get it can generate its own water, but at some point you're going to need waste, or you're going to want to hook up a shore power sewer when traveling, or they could go with the incinerator toilet. Plus, I'm not sure how a traditional RV pull-through space would handle the width of this thing. They have slide-outs. So, if it only slides on one side, and it's doing the sliding of two slides, then you just pull to the edge of the space. The reason I didn't go over all the stuff that they said they got in it is because no, we don't know if they're going to make it. We'll talk about them more if this wasn't just a design exercise, navel gazing. But they were pretty. These are some pretty cool possibilities for electrified RVs. The trailer units are going to have their own drive units in order to not to swamp the electric towing vehicle that. So basically like the Lightship and the Pebble. With a huge battery and solar roofs, the possibilities of home comforts without the noise of a generator will make dry camping outside RV parks a whole new experience. Continuing on. Lee says you have to grasp fire. That's fire. You have to watch the video to grasp all it has. And Andrew says, nice. And Lee says, that's very nice. All right. What? All right, so now we've got a news dump. Here we go. Started with Sawyer married in my feed that day. I told you there was big news. And we're going to go on for a little bit. The Model Y Juniper is out. It's released in China, Australia, Taiwan, and a couple other places. Breaking! Tesla has officially announced the new Model Y in China, the first major refresh of the #1 best-selling car in the world. Here it is. They've redone apparently all the skin, not just the front and rear. But I guess that the doors were close enough that nobody was sitting there comparing them that they never saw fit to cover them. You can't really see it in this picture, but the front camera is there, just like on Cybertruck. Here's the new side profile with the new wheels, the base wheels. And it's got, there's the rear right there with the light bar. But it's not just light bar. They are reflected lights. And here's the new interior. Very comfortable looking. The upgraded wheels, at least for China. I think that they upgrade wheels everywhere. Absolutely love the Ultra Red. Shut up and take my money. I think this is part of what got me in trouble. I was just on so many threads for the new Model Y, and they're like, time out. You're swamping our systems. This looks so good. Best-selling car in the world. Just got a serious upgrade. Demand for the upgraded Model Y will be insane. All right, let's go on to the next one because there are several of these. Hello, Motoko. What's up?
I want cake like you.
You want a cake like me? Don't touch it.
What cake?
Okay, you don't have to touch it. She wants to put your fingers in my cake. You want to ask Mommy for a cake?
Yeah.
Did you want me to fix your screen? Is that why you brought it to me? She didn't even remember why she came in. She saw the cake and got distracted. What, is Mommy taking a nap?
No.
Mommy sleeping?
No.
No. What's wrong?
I can't see her.
You can't see her?
Yeah.
And that's why you're sad? You want to sit with me till she's ready? Say hello.
Hello. Look, more eyes. What's that?
More eyes? What's that? What? Oh, those are fish eyes.
What? I see one more.
Yeah, you see one more. Today's background is fish. It's a school of fish. And so on the screen that all the controls are on, she only sees the eyes of two fish. Just kind of was on the screen that you guys are on, or the not that you guys, but that the news is on. Is a whole school of fish. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Okay. Or do you want to wear your headphones? Won't work on that. She said no, I don't want to wear headphones anyway. So we were getting the next link of this news drop. They're slightly out of order because I wanted to get the ones that were summaries first. All right, so this one's from Teslarati. They have a article on X, and my Zoom seems to be out, but it's not actually. It just doesn't like being on such a small screen. What's up, baby? What? This what?
This boy.
This boy has no nose?
This boy.
This boy what?
My game. I can't get out in
You can't get out of the game? They changed something in her game where this like barbershop mini game that she's got. You can't exit it. Not that either of us have found. So you have to exit the game and get back in it. Okay, so Tesla launches new Model Y in China. Here's what's new. After months of anticipation, blah, blah, blah. Let's just get to the facts. The Model Y crossover comes in two pack configurations. Or packs two configurations. You get a rear-wheel drive and a long-range all-wheel drive, currently being offered in China. The rear-wheel drive starts at just $36,000, bringing affordability to the world's best-selling vehicle. There's that $35,000 Tesla again. It keeps coming and going. So if you want it, grab it when it's available. Breaking! Tesla has launched the new Model Y in China. First deliveries are scheduled for March, pending regulatory approval. Available in two trims, long wheel. What about it? What about it? Is it a bird?
But little.
All right, help the bird.
I can't. Little.
What's she want?
I don't know.
What'd she say?
I don't know.
You need the volume up a little bit more so you can hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
She needs a bat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the bat's gonna make flowers and fruit for her?
And she said, oh no.
She said, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
The bat and the mom and the bad mommy and a boy.
The bat and the mommy and the bird mommy and the... That man looks like a vampire.
Go help the mommy.
Help the mommy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so...
What's that?
The bat?
What's that?
Yeah. Click it.
It's scared.
The bat? You're scared of the bat? The bat's using echolocation.
I'm
It's like
scared.
sonar to find out what's there.
I'm scared.
Well, then push next. Well, you're pushing back. It's going to keep showing you the bat if you keep going back. She's only scared of the bat in the cave, not the bat in the flowers and the fruit. All right, push next.
It's here.
Yeah, push next again. There you go. Okay, so now they want you to play this game. They want you to be a bat and make a sound. There you go. Okay, so after the first images of the Model Y Juniper were leaked this morning, we saw, I think I have them in here, but I might have deleted them. We saw spy shots of the Model Y testing in the snow, and they weren't very appealing.
What's that?
Because it was covered in snow. This is a cave, and you've got a cave in, and the rocks are blocking your way. So now you gotta use your sounds.
What I do it?
You gotta use your sounds so you don't run into the wall. Okay, you can make a sound this way. This way, so here.
Here.
Yeah, and then down here. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so it was shown in the snow, and let's see. The vehicle features a completely redesigned front end. It features more corners and more corners.
It's more here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. More corners and a more modern look that is similar to that of the Cybercab, Tesla's autonomous vehicle design. Here we got some more photos. There it is in the silver color. It's not available in black everywhere. And in some places like Taiwan, it's only available in black. That looks nice to me. This is a surprise on that steering wheel. It's not the same as the Highland. We'll get to that. And then here you can more clearly see the front camera right here in the middle of the grill down below the T. And what's Grover? All right, let's close this and continue on looking at what they have to offer us here. So the car is equipped with several new features, like a front-end camera, and for the first time ever, new wheels and a refined suspension. So if you liked the old one, you might like this even better. If you didn't like the original, well, this is the third-gen Model Y suspension. Tesla said on its website the new Model Y has been redesigned. All right, Elmo, you're loud. It's been very distracting to me. Said on its website the Model Y has been redesigned to maximize efficiency using every kilowatt hour more effectively with an updated suspension. Wheels and tires make for a smoother and quieter ride. They've increased fuel economy by about 3%, which some people were complaining about, but 3% is 3%. They're still using the same battery, but they are using different tires, and they've reworked the aerodynamics. It's now still got one of the best aerodynamic profiles of any crossover out there. That tickles. She doesn't know anything about Tickle Me Elmo, or the fights over a Tickle Me Elmo. I guess some people here might not either. Perhaps the most interesting addition is the front-facing camera, and we've seen the front-facing camera before on the Model 3, the Model S, and the Model X, and it disappeared. However, the reason I don't think this is an accident this time is that they called it out on the website as it is part of AutoPark and FSD. So it'd be a little weird if they call it out and then still remove it, like they did last time. and the time before that, and before that. Tesla says that it will provide a wider field of view for automatic assisted driving and for advanced smart summit. They also flexed an updated wheel and tire package, stating that it provides better handling and grip. There's also a new launch edition, which comes with a limited edition badging and interior materials and for a unique look. So this one actually just goes beyond just like the sticker kit that Tesla has done in the past, and the paint, this exclusive color. This one, let's take a look at this here. It's pretty cool. You get unique accent lighting for the puddle lights. You get a rear badge this way. So I'm guessing. No, I'm not guessing. This is just the launch edition. It's not a performance indicator because you can get it on the base model. And this is launch on the trim. And then you get an exclusive black Alcantara trim. And then you can get some accessories for it right here from them. And I said this will be sold out for a while. And my Mac keyboard likes to insert periods everywhere. I guess what it did was inserted 3 spaces because I only hit it once. Alright, so next, on the Model Y, we're going to continue on. We've got this one. That was a right click. Go ahead and right click. Alright, Ms. Wiggles, stop wiggling.
No.
No, we hear your nose.
No.
No. You just want that on your nose? People can hear it. You want to do it?
No.
No. You just want to keep that in your nose? Come on.
No. Down.
Down. She really didn't want to blow her nose. Okay. Paste and go. I guess she heard her mom in the other room. So, mom has done whatever she was doing. So, Tesla's new Model Y promo video. It's got music, so we're going to just let it play silently. Efficiency, technology, extraordinary, serenity, stability, revolutionary, cyber, sexy. Tesla. I wonder if it's red when the car is off. I guess not. Fire. Oh, the seats are now fold down and fold up with power, not just a spring-loaded drop-down. There's so much new about this thing. And there is the Model Y promo video with the reflective rear end situation going on. Starts at 305,000 won, or $41,400 for the all-wheel drive, or 263,000. Yeah, those are won, but looks like yen. Or is that yen in Japan? It says China though. It says won. 263,500 or 35,900. So not even 36. It's a $35,000 Tesla. We've looked at most of these pictures, but let's look again. Yeah, get it. So there it is in front of a V4 dispenser. And there's the rear end right there. Looking like a Cylon. This one's not a launch edition, just says dual motor. Stranger Things intro, RIP. Oh, I guess it reminds me of Stranger Things intro. First thing I thought of. URL, please. So it'd be tesla.com/China or whatever, or tesla.cn. It's that simple. Alright, so next up, since we've exhausted that link, right click copy link, paste and go. The new Model Y's cargo capacity is impressive. The second row of seats can be folded electronically, connecting the trunk space with a total capacity of more than 2130 liters. The trunk door will automatically unlock and lift up when you approach, allowing you to put down your luggage. So they've gone further on the. I guess it is always red. They've gone further on the feature that we saw them add about the loitering. If you loiter nearby with your iPhone, I guess eventually the Android, they will open the trunk, and on the Cybertruck, if you loiter near the front, it'll open that as well. Pretty cool stuff. And then as we saw, the frunk is bigger and able to hold more luggage. They make it appear to some folks that it's a power frunk, but it is not sold as a power frunk. We'll find out more when somebody gets their hands on it. The electric unfolding. No more being about my trying to drive with the seats flat. Oh, that was supposed to be beeping. Daggum autocorrect. I can't even correct it now because YouTube X got mad at me for replying to myself. So on my Model X and some other people's cars, when you have the seats folded on purpose, it tells you the seat back is not secure. It's danger. Stop the car. Buckle up. And it's like, I folded the seat down with the seat fold down button because I had cargo, and now there's cargo in there, and the seat is folded on purpose. Secure the seat back. The world's gonna end. No, it's not, Tesla. Just shh. Let's roll. And it will stop eventually. But for the first couple dozen feet, it's quite annoying. And anytime it thinks about it again later, it'll tell you, the seat back, but usually it doesn't think about it again. The new Model Y rear lights, not the light bar, aren't red like the Model 3s are. They have a grayish, smoked out appearance to them. And I'm hoping that this means that they have amber turn signals. But we don't know, and we won't see until it gets to the States, because we're the ones with the stupid rear red turn signals. I said, perfect for amber turn signals. Hopefully this is global at Woodhouse. That would be Franz von Holzhausen, the designer. Like, hey, I don't want your red lights. I want amber turn signals. Unambiguous. This car is in trouble. This car is turning. This car is stopping. Is that so much to ask? The only reason we even have the whole one bulb garbage here anyway, or the only reason we have the red turn signals, is because we have this whole one bulb garbage here. Ford and Chevy and Chrysler were too cheap to put in multiple bulbs in the rear of the car, and they wanted one per side. And having one bulb allowed you to have a red thing for everything. Cheapness. Cybercab vibe. Love it. It could be that they are moving from using colored material to having an LED that can change color dynamically, which is also possible. Which would then mean that everywhere else would have a red turn signal, and we would have, or amber turn signal, and we would have red here. I hope not. I really hope not. But on Model X, for the longest time, they were switchbacks. They were red for brakes, yellow for turns, and the four-way flashers. And they've recently changed it, and I still believe they were yellow because on that Plaid I was driving, they were showing yellow on the screen. But I never got near a reflective surface to try it out and see. Brewski doesn't care for it. He called it ugly. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Let me put a poll in the YouTube thing, see if it lets me. Let's do a plus. Start a poll. Do you like the new Model Y design? Start a poll. It might work. It might not work. Because remember, it was giving me trouble about... You know what, though? It says that there's no stream health. But it shows a picture of me streaming. I wonder if I'm just having to sign in again. Let's refresh. Oh, they kicked me all the way out. Verify it's you. It's me, I assure you. Alright, here's a fingerprint. Google noticed some activity on your account. It's me. I VPN to the other side of my house. That's suspicious. No, it's still me. No, I don't need any recommendations. Just take me back to where it was. That's why the chat didn't work. And that's why it does work from here, because the software was already authorized and streaming before they freaked the flip out. Okay. And we're still live. Okay, so they didn't ruin it. They just are the bane of me right now. I wonder if I just stay on the VPN. It's weird, though, because why do I need... Because I'm remoting from here to here. I don't know why this machine can't stream anymore on its own, but it can't. All right, so we know that the YouTube is working because I see you guys. But let's do the poll. Let's start a poll. Do you like the new Model Y design? Alright, and start. I don't know how to do it on Twitch, and I know that X doesn't offer it yet, so we'll just leave that there. If you're on YouTube, in the comments, click yes or no, and let's continue on to the next one, because we've got a little bit more Model Y. Let's do the electric rundown, because they're next on the list. And then I think the rest of them are basically just pictures and little factoid tidbits that we found. This is the new Model Y Juniper refresh, just unveiled in China. In October, about to enter trial production. No Model Y refresh coming this year. Turned out to be anywhere. We expected it to kind of show up at the end of the year in China. And here we are in the second week, and it showed up, and it's getting ready to be shipped. Today, Tesla updated its Chinese website and others in the Asia-Pacific region with information about the refreshed Model Y, and with many of the same improvements as the Model 3 refresh, like a quieter cabin, higher efficiency, more performance, and ambient lighting, and a rear screen. And there it is with the premium wheels on it. According to Tesla's website, the Model Y could achieve 719 kilometers of range, or 446 miles, in the long-range all-wheel drive spec with 19-inch wheels, but this is based on the CLTC estimates, which are more lenient than the EPA. And so people are like, well, what does it mean in the States? Add 3%, call it a good guess. Because Tesla's saying 3%. And so that way you don't have to try and figure out what the CLTC is on the WLTP and the EPA and so on and so forth. Just add 3% to your current region for that trim, and it's close enough. The 20-inch wheels on the long-range version will take you 662 kilometers, and a rear-wheel drive standard range batteries will go 593 kilometers or 559 kilometers on the 19 and 20-inch wheels respectively. We imagine this could translate into roughly about 350 miles of range on our top-spec Model Y in EPA ratings, but we'll see when the car gets released in the US. There's no talk of a performance model yet, and we'll probably see, just like it happened on the Model 3 refresh, where the performance just disappears. Or, like we saw on the original Model 3 before the refresh. No, that wasn't it. There was another Tesla that came out. The performance trim was the last model. But it works. Or they just sell out the performance and then wait till the new performance is in to offer it again. I think that's probably what they'll do this time based on what they did the last time. Acceleration is 0 to 100 kilometers, or 0 to 62, in 4.3 seconds, down from the previous 4.9. The rear-wheel drive version does the same sprint in 5.9 seconds. Both of these numbers would be slightly shorter for 0 to 60 because of the 2 miles an hour. There is no performance version yet, just as with the post-refresh Model 3, which didn't get a performance back until later. And then we see some more photos of it. Let me see that beautiful header shot that they showed us. Exterior design is just as it was leaked. Front end includes a new Cybercab Cybertruck style light bar, which rather than a more traditional looking headlights of the Model 3 refresh has been narrowed to remove the duck lip at the front of the hood. Also, the front end has a new front bumper camera, again like the Cybertruck, but unlike the Model 3, which should help with parking and offer initial point of view for Tesla's autopilot software, eliminating the blind spot. Folks are complaining about the brake right here, but on the Cybercab, the lights appear to be like lasers, and on the Cybertruck, the light bar is just decorative. So, the speculation is here that if those are turn signals, they have to be fully separated, and that might be what that is, or if they are headlights, then they also have to be fully separated, and so thus the gap. I've seen these on. They could be fog lights, they could be headlights like other cars that have thin upper lights. And then here they've circled the front camera. It probably has a washer like the Cybertruck, because if not, that would be a weird choice. The interior design changes are roughly as expected. The steering wheel has undergone less radical changes than some had hoped. So I'll say it now before they spill it. The turn signals have a stalk and not a button, and not a stalk and a button, just a stalk, which tells us probably that it's not going to be steer-by-wire, unfortunately. Earlier today, photos leaked suggesting the Model Y would receive a similar squircle steering wheel as the Cybertruck. We don't know what that was. If it was somebody's car or Tesla was testing something else out, but it was very clearly what looked like a Cybertruck wheel, and they said it was Model Y, but it was a Model 3 on the screen. So, who knows what that monstrosity was. The squircle steering wheel, or I called it the woke, because Elon hates that word, because it was a wheel yoke, and he likes to troll people. I troll him sometimes, even though he never sees it. In fact, I don't think his mom sees my stuff either anymore. The last time she interacted with me was like 3 years ago. Elon said, "You cannot see this person." But it turns out those photos were just of a Model 3 with a custom steering wheel. Just a model, a Cybertruck steering wheel just installed. The actual interior of the Model Y maintains a circular steering wheel, which suggests that it won't get a steer-by-wire. The steer-by-wire specification isn't listed on Tesla's Chinese site for the car. It does, however, have photos showing a missing steering column stalks, which have been a controversial feature of the Model 3. But if we look at the Australian version, there's a very clear steering stalk sticking out, and if we look at the Chinese steering wheel, there is no left-right button. Huh. What does it say on the chat? Does it say I did that, or does it say what people voted? I think it says I did that. Yeah, start a new poll. Interesting. I guess that's the interface. However, looking at the steering wheel, turn signal buttons from the Model 3 are not present. The Tesla has included a vestigial turn stalk hiding behind the steering wheel, and just deleted the Prindle stalk. Well, I guess not L, it's Prind. Park reverse neutral drive. There's no stalk for shifting gears. I think that's a good compromise. Although I would also like to see the steering wheel buttons for folks who have become used to that in their other cars. Like if you are a two Tesla family, that's going to mess you up a little bit every time you switch cars. For some reason, the turn signal stalk is not visible in any photos on Tesla's Chinese site, only on the right-hand drive regions like the Hong Kong site, where tiny left stalk is visible on the right-hand drive Hong Kong version of the vehicle. The same applies when looking at the car on the Singapore version of the site, although the stalk is still hidden on photos for any left-hand drive territory. I don't know if they were hiding it or if it's just so small that it's like tucked behind the wheel. But there you can see between the screen and the wheel on the column is a signal stock. I'm wondering if it also doesn't do the button to activate the wipers. That would be another 2 parts they can get rid of. They wouldn't need the button or the cover for the button if they do that. But it's a little weird they added a part back at the same time. On the best-selling vehicle in the world right now, you don't want to mess the formula up too much by upsetting people. Tesla says the acoustic glass in the Model Y reduces the interior noise significantly. The Model 3 got this improvement, and testing does show a significant improvement in interior noise as a result. You get other improvements, such as the rear screen for the rear seats, and the Cybertruck also includes this screen. But is it the same one? I think the Cybertruck one is bigger than the others. You get the ambient lighting strips, you get the electric seats up and down. The Chinese version calls these anti-gravity seats, but it's unclear what exactly the improvements might be in this respect. The seats are ventilated. So when Nissan was advertising their anti-gravity seats, it was better for your posture. It was no pressure points they were talking about, basically. And if true, I'm excited because I have a pressure point on my left thigh that just sucks. And that might see me in a Model Y. Maybe. I'm not really their target customer. I've been spoiled by X. Let's see. The configurator says the specific date will vary depending on the configuration and pickup location and other reasons. Then he tells us about the launch edition with different colors than we saw last time. Oh, cool. They got the piping on the mat and the launch edition on the charger and the phone charger. Got our pricing for Asia. As I wrote in the take section on the leaked photos earlier today, the refresh is needed because not only was the Model 3 did the Model 3 have access to improvements not on the Model Y for the last year and a half, the Tesla's having a challenging time with sales right now. They're down 1.5% year over year. Challenging. The company just finished a year where its sales dropped the first time since 2011, back when Tesla only sold the Roadster. And that was because they stopped making the Roadster to make the Model S. Back when Tesla sold the Roadster, the world's largest EV maker, just barely, did its part to drag down the EV market by failing to grow apace with the rest. Why is it just barely? I know I just barely. He's talking about BYD, because BYD almost caught up last quarter. They outsold them in the last quarter, but they didn't catch up for the year. I guess they got really close. They caught up, but didn't surpass for the year. And now that the Google browser's locked out the Mac email calendar once password. Thank Google. I appreciate the security, but be realistic.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Seriously, I've got all the 2FA and stuff turned on. To think that anybody could be in without it, I only added however many milliseconds it is to get across the room. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not Taylor Swift or somebody else who's allowed to have a Google account that also has like super high security needs. Put me on the YouTuber grade. The only other thing I'm thinking of is there might be a browser extension, but I've gone through all of my extensions, and none of them are doing anything weird, and none of them have been bought or changed over. And the only other thing that makes sense is I've got a custom app to connect my thermostat to my home controller. And you have to sign in weekly for that because it's using test, what do you call it? Apple calls it Test Flight. It's using that version, the Google version of Test Flight. All right, top comment is the front okay, the back meh, interior expected after M3. The stock is a nice change. Back to what it should have been. Technical changes on the drivetrain and battery, question mark. I don't see anything now. Of course not. I got wait till March. It has the same 250 kilowatt peak charge for the long range that it had before. Honestly, their competitors are mostly on the 800 volt architecture and spending 300 and speeding at 300 kilowatt per charge. Tesla used to be a leader in this category, but has fallen behind for years now. The Model Y is very, very fuel efficient, and supercharging at 250 isn't bad. I mean, 300 would be nice for a little peaking, but their batteries are robust. Very, very few of us have to change our batteries out. I did, twice. But I got a new technology with the P100D. I got a very weak chemistry with the P90D, and it was one of the first P90D packs. And then before that, I had a couple of Honda battery pack changes back when Toyota got premium status with Panasonic. So I think not changing the pack too much is probably a good idea. And we also saw when the Model 3 launched it, they didn't advertise 250 kilowatts. The V3 wasn't out. And then when they did have V3 and they advertised 250, it was right there on the Model 3 and then the Model Y. Cybertruck came out, they only advertised 250 plus and 300 plus, whatever. And it does 500 now. Come on. Just because they say that doesn't mean that's all it'll do. That's what they're promising right now, which I think is a better experience. If they're promising this and they do this, and then there's a software update and they do that instead, that is a good experience. Stop complaining, David. Let's go on. Next one. I think these are just going to be the little one hits of the features and the photos because I've got a break in the notes and a whole bunch of tweets. Paste and go. I can't paste and go. Can I paste? That means it did not copy anything, even though it said it did. And we've got more after the Model Y. I just got a whole bunch of Model Y links. Alright, and then we've got the new Model Y long-range all-wheel drive is about 11 pounds lighter than the old Model 3. And 11 pounds isn't enough to get you 3%. So they did some work to get it there. Simplify and add lightness. Similar to what Elon does at SpaceX, he has the engineers come through, and Elon wasn't the only one to do this, but he's one of the most recent ones. They had to come in and have a plan to save so many grams per day. Thoughts on the new Model Y design? We've seen those photos. I think Sawyer was just going for a bunch of different hits that day. And I commented on a lot of them, which got me in trouble. And then we've got copy link. Paste and go. Tesserati says the new Model Y flexes manufacturing efficiencies and other changes made for comfortable ride. I think this is another compilation post. An updated wheel and tire package provides smoother handling and better grip. A die-cast rear underbody has reduced the number of parts required from 70 to 1, providing a better integrity. All other improvements, all improvements contribute to a comfortable, quiet ride. The 70 to 1 is talking about a gigacast. But what I don't understand is they made the same claim on the previous Model Y. So are they suggesting now that they are all structural packs? Or yeah, it has to be a structural pack to be the technology they were using before. But the structural pack, I've always maintained that you don't have to have 4680s to have a structural pack. It can be a structural pack of the prismatics or the 2170s. Even the 18650s, as we see on the Model S and X, those things are just like the Cybertruck. They're glued in there. There's no getting out individual cells anymore like we used to have on my old Monster, where they're in modules. So I can see them having gone to the structural pack at all 4 factories, which also might explain why it's not doing a worldwide launch. So if that's the case, then I expect that the Austin Model Y will be the next one, and then we'll see either Fremont or Giga Berlin after Austin. It's my theory. If that 70-1 is talking about the structural pack Model Y, otherwise, that means that they're rehashing the same thing that they were already doing and saying it's new, which is a weird thing to do. But at the same time, when you look at the age and the timing, they could be selling people who bought the original Model Y the refresh. This is your refreshed car. Your last one was made of 70 pieces. This one's got 1. It's ambiguous. We'll have to wait for Monroe or somebody who at least is willing to take out the frunk and trunk and carpet and see what's going on. Or the service manual. The service manual might come out before anybody gets one on the ground. We don't know. And there's a clearer picture of the new wheels, which are nice. Then we've got... Copy link. And yeah, we can see it's punishing me for being first. 32 views on a post with 19,000 views. The new Model Y Juniper Launch Edition includes unique badging, dark Alcantara finish, or style dash. So it's not actually Alcantara; it's just Alcantara style. So I guess they don't have to pay for the brand name, and they get it from a different vendor. Yeah, forget you 2X. Teslarati says the new Model Y has a brand new interior feel with 3 distinct features, calling it your Starship. Starry Sky Tranquility. Step into the cockpit and close the door. Especially designed acoustic glass brings you a sense of vast tranquility. Listen to your favorite songs, and the cockpit is now your private recording studio. Anti-gravity. You can adjust various comfort functions as well. Various comfort functions at will through the... They translated that as what happened. At will through the front and rear touchscreen. Seat ventilation, electric reclining seats, and soft touch fabric interiors make you relax as if you were floating in space. High frequency. Enjoy clear calls, fast data transfers, and automatic unlocking of doors and trunk as you approach. Enhanced network connectivity and signal strength helps keep you in sync with your vehicle. Bluetooth connectivity gives your passengers easy access to entertainment features. That was one of the cool things about the rear screen. It added some Bluetooth channels so that you don't have to listen to what the kids are listening to. And so that you can still keep all your speakers going, even though the kids are watching cartoons or whatever in the back. Educational videos in my case, You better be learning something back there. See, this one did better. Still not as good as it normally would do. Look at that, 111,000 views. It only did 101 views. Zero gravity seats may help with my issues with my left thigh on long trips. This is a me thing and happens in many cars, EV or combustion. Because I am a freak. Let's see here. We've got about 6 more of these. Some of them are just pictures that we've already seen, so they'll go quickly. Paste and go. Breaking! Tesla has launched the new Model Y in China. First deliveries for March. Look at the trim levels for the new Model Y. There it is in the configurator. And there's some photos. Oh yeah! I like the Kool-Aid Man. Twitter didn't like it though. get you, Twitter. I'm telling you, they got pissed that I was in here with these people being excited about the Model Y. And then I talked to the leper, and then they just came down and bound my head and neck. Awesome. Where did you find this? On the Australian website. Design year of Tesla. We're not going to go through it. We could, but I don't feel like it. We go to the Tesla design site enough times. The 5 new colors: Pearl White Multicoat, Glacier Blue, Stealth Gray, Quicksilver, and Ultra Red. But in China, you can't get it in black. 48-volt drive-by-wire? No. The white interior with white exterior is my favorite. Is our favorite looking back. I'm sure they meant to be funny, but it was not. Continuing on. Copy link. Paste and go. Part of what got me in trouble is some of the arguments I got in. I criticized some stuff that Elon said that was not true, and and then we got in the fire arguments, and then I had something in the H-1B mess that Elon deplatformed people about, they say, and then I had some replies to some people who got suspended, and then I had some replies to stuff that people deleted because they changed their mind. It was not a pleasant weekend for G Custom on X. I'm just glad I got out of timeout. The new Model Y's wheel. I like this better than the Gemini, the silver or the black one, but the black one was a better choice than silver if you got a black wheel behind it, because it just looked weird to have the silver with the black. It looks super cheap, and then now it looks a little more normal to me. It also looked weird when somebody had the curb grindings. Let me try out this cake she had for her birthday. Ooh, moist. The icing is very granular. But now I know why the kiddo was trying to steal it from me. That's my cake, Daddy. Okay, the turn signal stalks. You can see them a little clearer here. It doesn't appear to have the windshield wiper button on it, but let's do this. Open the image in a new tab. No, I don't want to save it. What I need an Australian Model Y steering wheel button for. And then let's go over. And we can see the China one does not have the turn signals like it does on the Highland. Alright, we'll go ahead and close that. And I can't tell if that's still got a button on it or not. I'm gonna say no. It's kind of cyber style. But I'm just basing this on my own stock, and mine is not even a good. Mine is a Mercedes stock, and the ones I remember using on the Model 3 pre-Highland. I guess, yeah, because the Highland doesn't have them. All right, so what did we open up here from a Fila in electric? Prototype car you can play PS5 in. Oh, that's cool. Welcome, Jamie and Cullen. I think this might be a fun car. And Honda does know how to make some stuff, so we'll see. My screen flickered on the Mac. That's not good. I'm still plugged in. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to see if there's anything useful in that before we recycle the window, because I had already closed the X window to look at the stock. Copy link. Paste and go. It sounds like Motoko is taking a nap now, which is fine, because any minute she would have been bouncing off the walls. The rear end lighting on the Model Y was designed in-house. We innovatively designed an integrated diffuse reflection through type taillight. And I was like, what the F does that mean? How does that make them the first? What makes them the first is they're the first one with an indirect view reflective taillight. And everybody else has, if they've done an indirect view, it was kind of in addition to, rather than exclusively, this. And in the pictures, when parked, it appears to be one solid bar, but I've got a video that we're going to look at where it looks a little different. Also comes with cyber steering here in the US. I would not say that. It could, but I would not say that. 509 views over 27,000 views. I would be best not to interact with the Ashok right now. I'm still on timeout in a way. They're just not hiding me anymore. Like, you couldn't even see me. I was talking into the void. I mean, you guys could, because you obviously, know who I am, but anybody who didn't know who I was gone. Like this one. I love their focus and arrow at each release. I do. But X doesn't. Long range all-wheel drive, first edition. The design looks fantastic. 201 kilometers per hour top speed. 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Spring or air? Website doesn't say, so I assume spring. Yep. You know what else it could think? It could think I was stalking and harassing Sawyer. But I don't know why it would think that, because he and I interact. Some official pics of the new Model Y. The interior looks more premium than the most recent Model 3. So here's some different pictures that we have not yet looked at. I like this detail right here. They got the double stitch on the dash and the door. This new speaker, it just looks like it feels nice. And that blue, obviously you can change the color, but whoever picked the blue for this photo, it looks sweet with the white and the gray and the black. I just like it. And I'm not even who they're looking for. I like the door shot. X doesn't. This person doesn't like it. Alright, last one on the Model Y for now. I'm sure we'll have more over the coming weeks and years. Dimensions plus all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive specs. We'll look into these for you spec nerds out there. Come on. I guess we won't. It's tiny. 1921 kilograms with 2138 storage space, 2138 liters in storage space. Wheel hub, so the wheels at 19 or 20 inches. Up to 5 adults, so they're not even selling the 7-seat in right now. So we're going to see another, if they keep the 7-seat, we're going to see another push of news when the 7-seat becomes available on the website. Tesla themselves may push it at that point as well. 15.4-inch central touch. I think that's up from 15.1 or 15 flat. 167 millimeters ground clearance. 8-inch rear touchscreen. This has got to be from the Australian the Australian site, because you got a mismatch of imperial and metric. Excuse me. Unless everybody measures their screens in inches. That's also a possibility. Us Americans are forceful in our influence on the world. You get a total width for the rearview mirror. They're talking about the wing mirrors. Rearview mirror folding, 1982 millimeters wide. Rearview mirrors unfolding is 2129 millimeters. So with the wing mirrors out, for a total height of 1624 millimeters. So it may look lower, but it is not. The upgraded Model Y specifications are 719. This has also got to be translated then. 719 kilometers with the 19-inch and 662 kilometers with the 20-inch on the CLTC, the Chinese fuel efficiency regime. Accelerate 0 to 62 kilometers, or so 0 to 100 kilometers, 0 to 62 miles per hour at 4.3 seconds. And that's for the dual motor all-wheel drive. So not even the performance, which is probably going to be right up there with my Model X performance. Because that's how Tesla rolls. I called this 24 hours ago. Follow me for more breaking Tesla news. That's 6.57 ground clearance, increase from the current 6.1811. Are you comparing like for like, my friend? Everybody else said it got shorter, or it stayed the same, or got shorter. Alright, so we're going to go back to Sawyer again, but we're going to change brands now. We're going to talk about Mercedes. We already talked about Volkswagen and how they were going to be late and early because of the fact the adapters were coming after the software access. Starting on February of 2023, the Mercedes electric vehicle drivers in the US will gain access to over 20,000 Tesla superchargers, with Canadian drivers joining later in the year. Mercedes has announced. So I'm guessing that means that Mercedes Canada is a separate, completely separate entity, unlike Tesla Canada, which is very closely related. So, February for the US Mercedes owners, and who knows about you Canucks. A NACS to CCS1 adapter for current CCS1 compatible electric vehicles will be available at authorized Mercedes-Benz dealerships, enabling safe and fast charging at Tesla superchargers. Mercedes-Benz will introduce North American Charging Standard ports in its electric vehicles lineup beginning in 2025. So I'm guessing they're going to change the ports out, or they're talking about the new cars launching this year, unlike the Cadillac. And there was no word of free, but at the same time, if you can afford a Benz, you can afford $200 for a adapter. So I get them saying that. And finally, a date. Welcome to social Mercedes. And Tesla and X did not appreciate that. I got it right here, X. And then Electric's got us a, let's get off the road for a minute. Electric's got us an autonomous electric mower from John Deere. The CES 2025 John Deere autonomous mower promises a perfect cut every time. It does have a little bit of a seat there, so I'm wondering if it's like the Honda where you show it and train it the fields each time, like not every day, but like each new field you teach it, and it can either rigorously follow the path or it can autonomously go from there. Self-driving mower bot was positively dwarfed by the giant farm machinery surrounding it, but continues to prove that humans will pack bond with anything, as more than one burly-looking and grizzled man asked what its name was. It's Howard. I'll fight you. For its part, Howard has a 21.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack. That's massive! A 21.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack that runs a suite of electric motors that includes a front drive motor and 3 cutting blade motors spread across a 60-inch cutting deck. You know what would be really cool? And they might say it, with a battery pack that size, this thing could augment your home as a emergency backup battery. I would like to see that. Either official or unofficial. But it's not the electric motors that make John Deere's little robot mower cool. It's the way it works. Instead of just add GPS data or just repeating pre-recorded runs, so they're saying they're not the same as the Honda. Howard can do something in between. The way it was designed to me, explained to me, you would ride the stand-up mower, even though it looks like a seat, around the perimeter of the area you wanted to mow, select a pattern, hop off, and fold up the platform and let it loose. Howard mows just the way you would, leaving you to focus on edging, planting, or let's face it, schmoozing with clients. Okay, so this is a commercial mower, but I would still like to be able to use it as emergency backup. And then, on top of that, let's talk about that just mow the perimeter and then pick a pattern. I wonder if you can store some patterns like you can with the Honda, like the fields. Like here's the pattern, here's the perimeter. Go for it, or not. It's exactly the sort of help that landscapers are looking for, but that should come as no surprise because John Deere has experience there. Blah blah blah. They told Lawn and Landscape that the industry in general has a high turnover rate as well. It's not fun work for most people. It's hard, sweaty. Autonomy can help with that. Okay, so that's not a seat at all, it's just the front of it. And yeah, I see it's a stand-up mower now. You can stand behind it in the back. Okay, cool. It was electric and autonomous. I clicked it. Come on. Alright, so I've been saying that hydrogen doesn't make any sense to me. It also doesn't seem to make any sense to our friends at Hyzon, who have decided to dissolve their company. Hyzon board votes to dissolve company. Hydrogen dead. The board of directors at troubled hydrogen fuel cell maker has voted to dissolve the company that first developed the HFC garbage truck to North America last spring, pending shareholder approval. After a promising global start that saw the American startup announce pilot programs that would see its hydrogen cells put to work in transit buses in Brisbane, its tow trucks above in Victoria, and they say American company or Australian company. It says American startup, but they're operating all out of Australia. In Victoria, and 5 154-ton severe duty trucks scheduled to service a zinc refinery operation in North Queensland. Maybe that's why they went out of business, because they're on the wrong side of the planet for their customers. Slow sales and an inability to deliver on its ambitious goals saw the company quit Australia in July. Well, never mind. And now Hyzon is calling it quits altogether. After issuing a warn letter to employees, and this is a way that you can handle your mass layoffs without getting sued, or without getting sued as bad. You give them a warn letter, you tell them it's coming up, and we're going to let you go. In December, announcing layoff plans, citing an inability to raise funding and the future uncertainty related to the availability of government subsidies. Yeah, I imagine the Doge isn't going to pay for hydrogen subsidies. Now it appears that the Hyzon board of directors has unanimously voted to dissolve the company and liquidate its assets, pending shareholder approval. Top comment. Oh, that's not top comment, sorry. Top comment comes after the quote from Hyzon. Unanimously approved, subject to stockholder approval, the transfer of all or substantially all of the company's assets through an assignment for the benefit of the creditors and liquidation and dissolution of the company pursuant to a plan of dissolution while continuing to pursue strategic alternatives and potential funding sources intended to maximize the value of its business assets. So if somebody wants to buy the whole company, I guess. Top comment by We Won't Get Fooled Again. Yeah, you fool me once, you ain't gonna fool me again. I don't fall for the banana tailpipe. Yo. I guess it was inevitable. I always thought it was an answer in search of a question, and an answer with too much complications compared to batteries. But if it had to be tried and proven, yeah. If Hyzon is unable to find a buyer or a patient bullish customer soon, I guess that would make them reverse the closure of the company if they find somebody who puts in a giant order. Expect all of Hyzon's... I'm not laughing at that part. I'm just talking about the idea of a giant order. If Hyzon is unable to find a buyer or patient bullish customer, expect all of Hyzon's staff at its Bolingbrook, Illinois, and Troy, Michigan facilities to be laid off at the end of February 2025. I wonder if they were the ones that Nikola was relabeling. Nikola sticker. We made this. Okay, that's enough of them. It was just mostly hydrogen sucks. Looks on everything. Specs also matter, and they're intriguing to say the least. This came later. I don't know if it's actually any different than what we just looked at, but they claim that the Mazda 6 EV specs. So let's take a look. You know, the same Mazda we started the show with. Well, began the show with, not started the show with. Because we started with some trucks. The Mazda 6e is a gorgeous rear-wheel drive EV liftback with a 50-inch virtual touchscreen. That was the AR. Car lovers, Mazda 6. It's rear-wheel drive only, and there's an LFP battery on offer, so the basics are there. But that's just part of the story. You'll soon find out. 6e will be available in Europe starting in the summer, but is not coming to the United States. Okay, so this is a different car from Mazda than the one we just talked about. Amazing. And that's why I put it in here. Because old me, past me, understood this. It's not coming to the United States, at least for the foreseeable future. And I imagine that has everything to do with that lithium iron phosphate battery pack, because it's going to be coming from China. And we got a massive 100% tariff on that here in the States and in Canada. I think I'm missing some stories at this point. But that's okay. Then you should know this is the same car as the Chinese spec Mazda EZ6, which in turn is heavily based on the DePaul SL03. In other words, it's not an EV that Mazda built from the ground up, but rather leaned on its partners to cut development costs and bring the car to market sooner, and that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. I guess the other part of it would be not just the battery pack, but also the testing required. And if you are still skittish on EVs, why would you want to send 50 to 150 of these things to just smash up and give to the government and run testing on yourself that then you can't sell because they were test cars? The base version with the lithium iron phosphate pack can store up to 68.8 kilowatt hours of energy for a WLTP range of 297 miles on a full charge, and the battery is paired with a single rear motor to make 254 horsepower and 236 foot-pounds of torque. It can be DC fast charged up to 200 kilowatts for a 10% top-up in 22 minutes, while plugging it into a 3-phase 11 kilowatt AC charger will result in a state of charge going from 10 to 80% in just 8 hours. I say just, but that's slow. Why is it taking 8 hours? Well, how deep is the taper on this thing? Because I can charge at 17 kilowatts in 4 hours with a big battery. And that's only an extra 7 kilowatts. Or 6 kilowatts, actually, because you're at 11 and I'm at 17. Now, the base can accelerate from 0 to 62 in 7.6 seconds. Ooh. 7.6 seconds at a top speed of 108 miles per hour. The 108, whatever, is not going to sell well in Germany. But 7.6, I think the Prius is faster than that. Alright, I'm going to mute myself for a second.
I found this on the web.
That wasn't what I asked you. I asked you the speed.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
The standard 2023 Prius hits 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds and the quarter in 15.5. So this is slower than a Prius.
On the website motortrend.com, they say, the standard 2023 Prius hits 60 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds in the quarter in 15.5 seconds at 91.7 miles per hour. Amusingly, the Prime's also quicker to 60 miles per hour than the automatic-equipped Toyota GR86 Sport Coupe, which needs 6.6 seconds.
So the Prime is faster than the standard, which means that the Prime...
I don't know, but I found these results on
Okay, stop.
search.
Stop. Thank you. So the Prius Prime is faster than 6.6 seconds. And the standard Prius, what they say, was 7.2 seconds. I know 0 to 60 isn't everything, but part of the beauty of the electric is you get that speed for free. And anybody who doesn't do it in 6 seconds, I kind of clown on them. It's an okay speed. It's never been a particularly swift speed in my lifetime. I mean, it would have been on the front end of acceptable as I was much younger. This one looks nice too. Very much like the one that's not ready yet. All right. Continuing on. All right, we've got our recall of the day. Our recall is on the, not the Cybertruck, but on all Tesla Hardware 4 cars. And this is a pair, so two-prong. We've got a over-the-air software update recall combined with a service required if your car is still broken after the recall. What's happening is the car would start up in the wrong sequence and send power the wrong way through the Hardware 4 AI4 FSD computer, which would cause your cameras, particularly the rear view camera, which put them in violation of FMVS S200, I believe. And with that violation, it turned this from a software update and repairs to a full-on recall. And their fix basically is in software that's already been deployed, is to start the cars up in a different sequence and replace your FSD computer if it fried itself already. And some folks are waiting because it fried enough FSD computers that at the year-end push, they ran out of computers. So, some folks are running around a car in full manual and having to turn on and off their headlights and windshield wipers manually and having no cruise control. But it's temporary. You'll forget about it. It's annoying. Super annoying. But you'll get over it. This is, according to the NHTSA, it affects 2024 to 2025 Model 3 and S, as well as 2023 to 2025 Model X and Y. And that's just because of the way that they were each redone. Model Y came out the gate swinging with the Hardware 4. Number of owners of these vehicles reported their computers are failing, requiring replacement under warranty. Tesla was telling these customers that the issue was linked to a short circuit in the Hardware 4 computer, resulting in a cascading failure of features inside their vehicle, including GPS inaccuracies, unresponsive displays and cameras, and disabled driver assistance features. Tesla has now acknowledged the shorting issue with this recall. While resulting issues were expansive, the recall only talks about the rear camera malfunction, since this is a non-compliance with FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, number 111, not 200, sorry, 111. I knew it wasn't 100, or 108. To begin addressing the problem in December 2024 with an OTA from software update 2024.44.25.3 and 2024.45.25.6. I think the difference here was which FSD version you were on, free features or paid, and everything after them has the correct startup sequence in it, and you're good to go. For vehicles already experiencing failures or stress that could lead to a failure, Tesla will replace the car computer at no cost. newer vehicles produced after December 16th, 2024 include the updated software and revised hardware. And according to Tesla, hardware 4 failures may be exacerbated by cold weather conditions, which might be why we're seeing it more up north in Canada than a systemic issue. In the cold, your voltage is a little more potent. And Canada has not yet released their recall, but there should be anytime soon. And I'm sure that Darren here in Drive Tesla Canada will let us know. Causes the battery voltage to drop. You can read the full NHTSA recall notice below. Transport Canada has not yet issued a similar recall, but that should be coming soon. Yep. And that was our recall. I think we only had one this week. This one came out today, which is Sunday, so I doubt it. Update at 12:15 p.m. When asked if the program would be topped up, this is big news. The IZEV program, IZEV rebate program is nearly out of money, and here's what you need to know. Drive Tesla Canada article. Update as of 12:15 on January 10th. When asked if the program would be topped up, Transport Canada only reiterated the program would pause once funds run out. Here's the response in full. The IZEV program will pause once the allocated funds have been fully exhausted. This is expected to be before the March 31st, 2025 program end date. Should there be changes to the program, including the pause, Canadians will be informed through the program website. So what's happening here is the scheduled end date of the IZEV rebates for electric vehicles is going to be a mere technicality because they're going to run out of money before that happens. So if you were planning on getting a EV in Canada this year, hurry up before your neighbors get it, because once it's out, it's out. They may top it up again later, like they have done in the past, but it's unlikely this time because it's not going to have a reset for the next year. So I think it's just done when it's done. It's what they're not saying that that's the end, but they're saying that you should pretend it is because it's not looking good. This one was big. I thought I had it later in the show, but since it's here now, we'll look at it. FSD news. Last night, Tesla released 2 different full self-driving versions in the same software update. The latest update, 2024.45.25.15, includes, for hardware 4 vehicles, it has FSD version 13.2.4, and for the hardware 3 vehicles, it has FSD version 12.6.1, including Model Y. Hopefully 3 soon. Hopefully S and X Legacy soon. That's what I'm talking about. We've been testing this thing for you guys nicely. And you got that from Teslascope, which is who I was gonna link to. So if we get the Teslascope on it, we can just skip it. Confirmed by FSD team member Kaylina Brown. No typo. This is real. Teslascope was speculating if it was a typo that they both were showing the same version. No typo, this is real. I think it thinks I'm on a phone, so I don't get the pop-up previews, because the buttons worked. Oh, there's a pop-up preview. But she's not wearing the X tag, or the Tesla tag. I guess not everybody is. It's a real treat for every Tesla vehicle owner, that's for sure. The speculation from Teslascope now is that we might see, now that everybody's got the same base software, FSD is basically an app to the OS at this point, and we might see more frequent updates to FSD, or even nightly builds, so that way the super special program team members can probably get a new build like every week, and the Tesla employees and Tesla, well, the employees will probably be every couple of days, and the Tesla FSD team could have a nightly build. Every night they come into the office, or every morning they come into the office with the new build that they just put on the cars, ready to go, and that is awesome. That will be how we get to finish FSD this year, as Elon has been promising for the last 10 years, if they don't have to rewrite the whole car every time. Because when you rewrite the whole car, there's a lot more testing that goes into it than than just the FSD safety testing we looked at the other week with the pullouts and the double cars, and the one car pulls out and oh shoot, there's something there. Trash can jumps in the road, kid jumps in the road. All of those tests that they do on every build. You then also had to get the car hot, get the car cold, do the rain, do all this stuff that but the FSD team isn't doing. You had to get all the car people involved versus just the ADAS team. So, if Tyler is right, Tyler Corsair at Tesla Scope is right on this matter, this is going to be a big year for FSD now that this thing is separate from the car software. I wonder if this also means then that whenever they get the legacy MCU cars, MCU1 legacy cars, up to this level of software, so now that team that does the rest of it can work on this car, and get that Model S and X version, and get them up to something that can run this FSD app, or connection API plugin. Basically, FSD is independent of the OS. If they can get those old cars up to that, then they will get their third FSD update in their lifetimes. So for the folks who managed to get the update before it was pulled and get it installed, they will get their third update. Everybody else will be on their second FSD update on those old cars from 2016 to sometime in 2017 on the cars that shipped with hardware 2.0 and an MCU 1. I don't know if you could get hardware 2.5 and MCU 1. I think hardware 2.5 came with MCU 2. Because you get that handy steering wheel, handy speaker in between your knees at the base of the steering column. And I think that came with hardware 2.5 and MCU2, because I've got it. But either way, that's big, because that would mean that everybody who's paid for FSD or rented it can have it at the same time. With the slightly reduced version for the hardware 3 folks. But that also then means that they can now focus some efforts on, well, not some, but more efforts on getting hardware 3 to do what Elon promised about trying to get it back to parity so that he doesn't have to spend the money to replace all of our hardware. This one was just another copy of the same one about the... Oh no, this is different. Tesla raised the prices on the Model 3 and the Model Y, so they don't qualify for the program anymore anyway. So if you're planning to get a non-Tesla and use the iZev credit, there it is. Or if you hear that Tesla's going to drop the price. Or if your referral programs or the other stuff, so you use my referral, ts.la/KACEY1109. If that is allowed to make the car requalify in Canada, then you could probably still get a Tesla on it. But I don't know. I think you guys did it differently, so it has to qualify on its own. And so because of this, none of them qualify. But look it up. All right. Then we got another tweet from Tesla Charging. This is Megapack chargers are mobile superchargers powered by Megapacks deployed at Thousand Oaks, California West Hillcrest Drive supercharger. Up to 16 stalls, so they've got 2 of the cows there. Up to 16 stalls at 250 kilowatts, free Wi-Fi for everyone, or for anyone, through Starlink. Charging is available for all EVs. Okay, that was a question of mine. I figured they could do it, I just wasn't sure that they did do it. So they have the Magic Docks available on these superchargers. Because they didn't say, I guess they could also just have an adapter chained to the trailer. But they want to make sure that everybody can charge in the areas that have been affected by the fires. So we're monitoring where else is safe to deploy and helpful. So that's about 150 cars, they told us, per night, or per nightly recharge, basically. and they're going to allow 150 cars to charge here per day on the mobile superchargers, in addition to what's already on site. And thank you so much. I sat for 30 plus minutes there yesterday. And so here you see 2 Teslas waiting in the parking spot. No. 2 Teslas charging there. This one is on a destination charger, the old 72 kilowatt for that Model 3. And I can't see what the Model X is on, but the Model X is charging. I can see that it's got the supercharging only sign. And then he's in a Model 3 or Model Y. And then behind him is just a row of Teslas, all waiting in line to charge. So he's saying, thank you. It was necessary. I was seeing all those temporary closures. I'm wondering if you guys had anything in mind, always 2 steps ahead. And that was something that Patrick and us had spoke about, where we were wondering if these things were like stashed regionally, where they could just be ready at a moment's notice. And it seems that's the case. And Robert has sent me a Bing link. Road tax EVs UK. Let's take a look. And then we'll continue on with the notes. Can I copy? I can't copy? What if I go to the old Command C? And that worked, even though I couldn't right-click on it. Road tax on electric cars in the UK. Currently, road tax on electric cars is 0 due to financial incentives provided by the UK government. From 2025, I clicked on the see more. See more. The 2025 electric vehicles will pay road tax with the amount depending on the car's age. And I don't think this was CarWow, but I think CarWow may have interacted with this person who suggested considering selling your car to your neighbor, whether your neighbor buys it or not. If they decide not to, cancel the sale and have another year of tax-free driving. That sounds like a gray area ethically and morally, legally, depending on how comfortable you are with gray areas. You can look into it. I wouldn't recommend it, just because I don't know how much the taxes are. I mean, it might be worth the risk to you, but that was something I noticed. Continuing on, new EVs registered on or after April 1st of 2025 will pay £10 in the first year, increasing to £165 for the second year onwards. I don't know that it's worth saving £165 or £10 to try that trick. But especially now that he made the video, I imagine that the tax office will be looking for it. The rate will also apply to electric vehicles registered after April 1st of 2017. So yeah, you'll start with the £165 is what I'm seeing here. Continuing on. Alright, so we're already up to fires, which means that we are near the end of the list. But while we're speaking of incentives and programs, our friends at Tesla Korea, or Tesla Club Korea, I'm not entirely sure. So let's translate this here with X and Google. For those who signed the contract for the old Model Y today, the subsidy may run out to be a huge hit. I highlighted the part with a highlighter. I'm really looking forward to it. Was this translation accurate? Give us feedback we can improve on. And let's take this, copy it, open a new tab to translate. If I spell Google right. 10 most efficient charging by today. There was a Lucid Air. And we're going to go with images, and we're going to go with paste from clipboard. All right. Why would you think that's Welsh? I mean, we were just talking to Robert, but that's clearly Korean. 1 million won for 2 children is highlighted. 2 million won for 3 children. 4 children or more, I guess they just add more if you have more kids. It's like this part kind of goes in with, the whole population collapse situation, and some countries are in more imminent threat of it than others. Korea and Japan and China are at the most imminent threat of population collapse. Additional support of 3 million won, early implementation on 24.11. So in November of 24, if you had 4 or more children, each child past 4, you got 3 million won. But for 2 children, you got 1 million won, because they don't just want you to have 1 kid. They want you to have more than population replacement. You got 2 million won for 3 children. And let's see, you got an additional 20% support for the lower and upper class. You got 20% for young people and first-time buyers. I'm guessing that's for houses, I guess, or something. The new electric vehicle credit, after scrapping of the vehicle that cannot be updated by BMS, will get an additional 200,000 won upon purchase until December 31st of 2026. And when the vehicle price is discounted, an additional 20 to 40% of the discount is applied. Not bad. Additional payment in proportion to the additional subsidy by the vehicle type. So, have you some babies, buy you a car on a discount, and get yourself some deals in Korea. There we go. I said, this looks like a really good deal, assuming that my translator tools are accurate. I think this is probably the other thing that really pissed off X, is I started interacting with people who speak different languages than me. I did a couple of posts with some Japanese folks, and so the algorithm probably thought that I was just like one of them Pix in Bio gals. Like, this guy is posting a lot, he doesn't care what language they speak. Despite that they have this handy translation tool. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for the good news. And I had an actual somebody speak to me. Here. So Brian, I think Brian was the OP, right? No. Brian's just another dude who is American Korean. Here's the translation of the provided text into English from Grok. Second year, 100,000 won. Third year, 200,000 won. Fourth and above, additional 300,000 won as of 24/11 adjustment. For direct descendants, an additional 20% is added. For children of veterans who were wounded in battle, an additional... so these translations are different. But either way, the same situation applies. For veterans who were wounded in battle, an additional 20% is added. For BMS members, an additional 20% added upon the completion of the... Oh, because this is veterans. Veterans. Can you translate that further for me? Veterans program. No results found. That's probably because it's translation over translation. For those with a disability rating of plus 20 as of 2016, so 2026. Are you guys in a different year than the rest of us, or is this 12/31, 26? The reason I ask is Thailand is what, 450 years in the future from us. Additional 20% to 40% added depending on severity. Or so this is either a child credit or a veteran's credit, depending on Google or Grok. When applying for a private high school, additional 20% is added. Please note that some specific items like BMS, Bulls legal line training might need further context to be understood fully in English. Yes, they did, but I tried and you wouldn't help me. Continuing on, I saw there was a program for EVs for our Korean friends, and if that's helpful to you, hopefully you can already read it. Go. So, in the fires, news. Tesla has donated multiple Cybertrucks to be utilized as battery banks for the Altadena mountain rescue at their station until the power is restored. This is where 1,400-acre Eaton fire is currently raging in LA. The Altadena rescue, this will greatly help the team to power radios, computers, and lights as we work into the dark. So, what did they say, 14 of these? That's, how far can you go down to 20%? So that's basically 1,400 kilowatt hours, so 1.4 megawatt hours. Not bad. It's not enough, but at the same time, these are Cybertrucks, so they can, take any number of them offline, go charge them, and bring them back as fuel tankers. That is a tiny picture. A donation of Cybertrucks to be utilized as battery banks at the station until power is restored at the station. This will greatly help the team power radios and lights as we work into the dark. Hashtag Tesla, Cybertruck, battery, Altadena, Eaton Fire, Los Angeles, and California. Glad they found a good use for those. As if they didn't already have some good uses for it. Pretty good. Cool face. Are you going to charge those cars? Or where are you going to charge those cars? Anywhere that's got electricity. Particularly at superchargers. Now add a water tank and tracks. Well, you don't need tracks, but a water tank would be... It'd be an interesting fire truck. And it's got power, so it can power the pumps. Assuming that your pump can run on 40 amps of 240. Cool. Hope their batteries don't catch fire. High roll. The battery is only going to catch fire if you burn the truck. Or there's been some catastrophic failure. I guess just based on the shape of the post, Sawyer couldn't cut that one out, or he wanted us to see the bozos. Source. It's just a link to their Instagram. But as we saw, their Instagram is going to quickly fall to mess, so we're not going to go waste our time and brain cells on them. Eaton always seems to be involved in any world disaster. His kindness will be proven to people in the long run. Oh, Elon. Not always, but a lot of them, yes. Who remembers when Jim Farley used to brag about the F-150 Lightning saving the day? Okay. At this point, you would then be looking at any local Ford dealers that still have stock to do a loan like this. And I don't know that they can, because that'd add some serious miles to the car, even though it's sitting still. The truck. Gotta hand it to Elon, no matter how much dirt is thrown at him, he continues to show that he really is a good man. Cheers. The Elon that could be likable and lovable is still in there. Great use of dead stock. Quinn. These are company vehicles. You cannot sell them as new after you've done this. They're going to be out in the fire, running, for an indefinite period of time. He's out of line, but he's right. No, he's not right. It's not actually dead stock. People are just broke. It's not that either. They're selling. They just... they can tend to collect a little bit in the lots. So maybe they are overbuilding them a little bit, but they're selling them, so... Cybertruck can always find a ready market around the world. There's robust demand, high technology. Yeah, they're not even really fully on sale in Canada yet. Environmentally friendly vehicles. Or Mexico. They had a batch there, too. I don't know if they were delivered yet. Right, they're just sitting in inventory unsold anyway, so they can at least advertise. No, these become used cars once you use them for something like this. It's not simply driving them to a golf competition, parking them, and then bringing them back to the store. scumbag capitalist. You don't know me. Professional liberal and Tesla hater here to offer his worthless opinion. Do you have access to Tesla sales figures out of curiosity? Okay, let's continue on. What do we got next? Alright, that was it. That is the end of our pre-prescribed stories. I want to thank all of you guys for your time today. I want to thank our channel members for your monetary support of the channel. If you guys could send your friends to look at my X posts, maybe subscribe. I don't know, how can I say that inside the guidelines? I have an X account, x.com/gcustom. There you go. And we'll catch you guys on Monday for the Tesla Life Express, on the Tesla Life Show's channel, and on Wednesday for the live show, Friday for the first edition of that week, and then back here again next week at about 1:10 Eastern. Hopefully on the dot, but we'll see if the computers and my scheduling and everything participate. But catch you on the flip side.